Good evening, friends. Hi, happy Tuesday night. I'm broadcasting from my living room again. Still messing around with the ring light and background, even though it's a pipe dream, guys. It is what it is. That should be the name of my channel. Like, hi, welcome to It Is What It Is. I do have a lot of creative thoughts and ideas, but I never seem to know how to implement them. Like, I feel like I should have a knowledgeable friend who understands YouTube, who can like come to my house and just say, well, here's what you do. I mean, I never thought about things like ring lights. And the first I learned about that was watching some ASMR videos, because I've been watching Maria Gentle Whispering for like almost 2 years. She's amazing to me. To me, she's like an earth angel, really. Third cigarette of the day. That's really not bad, guys. So, and the gentleman at the gas station gave me the really long ones, the 120s. So at least it can last longer. It's not good when I take a break at work, though, because I usually can't stay out there too long. But anyway, what am I talking about? I don't know. I'm having my chamomile tea. I ran out of my CBD oil tea. A friend of mine reminded me of that today. I can't even pull on this. What's going on? Like my Marilyn Monroe lighter? I'm a horrible influence. How could I even come on here and talk about health or anybody else's health while I smoke, right? But I have cut way down. I've cut down on the food. I even have my cats on a diet now because they love wet food. But I got them the Purina Pro Plan weight control formula. And now they're just splitting a small can a day, a little 3-ounce can, instead of having one can each, a fancy feast. And they always have they have access to water, of course, and their dry food, which I order from Chewy. Oh, hi, hand. I'm not so bald tonight because I put my stuff in. Isn't that cool? Suddenly I don't have visible scalp because of this product called Toppix, Toppix. Believe it or not, I learned about that from watching Chantel. So shout out to Foodie Beauty, even with all of her problems. Who am I to judge? She's got the same thinning hair issues as me, because frankly, when you're obese, it becomes a hormonal issue. And for me also, thyroid. But to the best of my knowledge, I've never had PCOS, thank God. At 10 o'clock tonight, Zachary Michael goes live. I'm definitely going to watch that. Watch that. I'll watch him probably on my TV. I'll hook up my, I've got the Amazon Fire Stick, so I can watch YouTube on there too. My work shift wasn't too bad. It was a crew of 4 of us tonight, all of whom work really well together. Very simpatico. My friend was back, so that was always nice. When you work in a stressful type job, which mine is, I mean, you can only imagine with, a home with 8 fairly severely developmentally disabled adults with behavior issues. It gets stressful and hectic quite often and very loud, which I've mentioned before. If you can't be on the same page and be on the same team, symbiotic with your coworkers, you're really dead in the water, because then a stressful job becomes almost impossible. So I'm really grateful that I've got people that I work with that I really like. There's really only one person that at this point seems to not like me for no reason. So I'm just letting go of that whole issue because it's not my issue, it's his. And I want to learn to rise above it, not rise to other people's occasions. Excuse me, I'm very burpy tonight. I'm sorry. That's disgusting. So I had my salad for dinner. It was like my first green leafy salad of the season. Welcome spring, And a small slice of turkey meatloaf and a little glob, I'd say like a glob the size of an egg of mashed potatoes. And I had some vegetables. But then later on we had pizza in the house, and I did have a slice of pizza. So I don't know how my weigh-in's going to go tomorrow. How badly salt is going to wreak havoc with me. Oh God, water weight. Oh dear. But we'll see. I'm trying to remain accountable and really do this thing every week. So who's going to watch Zach tonight? I am. That man is very diverting, very entertaining, really amusing, clever. And, as salty as he gets at times, I never sense any meanness from him at all. I sense that he really would love to help people in need. I think that's what his job is, actually, or, something in that field. And he's often tried to help Amberlyn Reed. He's often given really sound advice. Lately, with all the reaction channels I watch, I don't sense any really overt mean spiritedness from anybody. And if I do, they're not the ones I watch. And I don't even watch because I believe in ganging up on Amberlyn. I find it interesting that it's a community, and we all kind of like bounce our frustration off each other, and we seem to be trying to come up with some kind of a way to crack the code of that girl, and there is none. The more I ponder about it, I realize that I'm not saying it's a hopeless case or that she's hopeless. I'm saying it's all the work that we do on ourselves comes from within. And if you're constantly trying to fill a vacancy inside of you, what do you have to pull out from? You know what I mean? Like, if she's that addicted to everything in her life, including manipulating other people, what would she do if suddenly everybody left her? What would she do if she was on a deserted island? I mean, what would she do if she didn't have access to the food? She obviously should lose weight, but then it's like, what would she do? Would she become a different person? Nobody becomes a different person just because they lose weight. But when you're almost 600 pounds, or maybe at 600, you have to do it to save your life. It has nothing to do with looking good in a bikini or snagging a mate or anything. It has to do with, like, her poor organs and joints. And I guess I'm projecting because I feel bad for my organs and joints too, quite frankly. And I only need to lose like 60 or 65 pounds. But I was going to read you a poem, but I wonder if I still could if I... No, see, I don't know how to do the thing where I can read it off like my Samsung Notes and still be able to use the camera, unless you were just hearing me but not seeing me. I'll write it down. It's a very long one, and maybe read it tomorrow. I'm really low energy today. I don't know if you can tell by how I look or not. I'm just not sleeping well at night, and I don't like to use drugs or supplements. I sometimes do, but I really think it interferes with your body's natural need to have a sleep cycle. And um, I don't know. I mean, I stopped caffeine after 4. This is just herbal tea. I am having a cigarette, and of course that's a stimulant, but really it's just because I can't shut my brain off. People think I'm this mellow, chill person. Maybe that's how I appear on the outside, but my mind races constantly. There's almost not a moment where I'm just really in the moment, really still, focused, at peace. I'm worrying about things from childhood to things I said yesterday, to things that happened this morning, to things that are going to happen in the future, which I have no way to predict the future. But I worry about bills constantly. I worry about money all the time, even though I have a full-time job. I have job security right now, but I'm not making enough money to really save anything or ever, get ahead or pay off any debts. If I didn't have the debt load that I had, I'd be able to survive nicely and maybe even get a new car. But one of the biggest regrets of my life has been getting into debt. It really, that and the alcoholism are, like, honestly my 2 greatest regrets. I can't really say the cult because I didn't choose to be in the cult. I was raised in it. That wasn't my choice. So sorry for all the blank space here. I just felt like talking to my friends inside the black box here in front of me. And I guess I'll sign off for now. I'm going to get comfortable, and I'm already in my nightgown. I feel very, like, Indian-esque tonight. It has little sparkles on it. I'll wash off my makeup and get ready for bed. I've got my Anastasia Modern Muse. Not, is it Modern Muse? Modern Renaissance. Oh my God. Modern Muse is a perfume. Probably in this harsh light it looks too heavy, but I put on heavy makeup when I'm wearing my glasses. Natural Candle, Daylight, I think that's called, and then Blue Light or Cool. I don't know. I hope you guys are still enjoying listening to me. I sometimes get really, really insecure that I'm just like going senile or something and I'm just blah, 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 blah. I really don't ever know what I'm talking about. It's completely off the cuff. I can't really riff like, other YouTubers do. And I keep telling myself to stop trying to emulate anybody else anyway. Everyone has their own style. You can always clearly tell who's trying to copy other like successful YouTubers. And I have a pet peeve about that. I can't stand it. So I was thinking though of getting a PO box and not to solicit money. Oh my God, no, that's another big pet peeve of mine. But so that if people like to actually write actual letters and send little things through the mail back and forth, they could do that because I love doing that too. I've always loved doing that. I've had pen pals my whole life. Um, I'm an introvert who also likes communicating, so figure that one out. That's why YouTube is good. That's why I like being on social media. That's why I like carving out very specific time. Um, my coworker that I get along well with, Ruth, I think I'm going to get her to attend the KT Tunstall concert with me, which is playing in a small local venue in May. And I said, oh, my birthday's in May, come out with me on the 15th so I don't have to do everything alone and we can celebrate. And she's not familiar with who that artist is, but I really like her. Um, she's very well known for the Big Red Horse and the Cherry Tree. That song I'm not particularly fond of, but I love Suddenly I See, and that's the opening song that you hear in The Devil Wears Prada. Suddenly I see, this is what I want to be. You know that song? So I think it's so cool that she's like coming to my town, and I vowed to myself in January to get out of my house more and not just have the life of work and home and the grocery store and the laundromat, but to get out and do more of the writing retreats and seminars when I can afford them. Takes like a month to save up for those bad boys. But this local show is $35, I think. And when I see the Indigo Girls, that was $45. I'm taking a thing. I can't do the 2-day one, but I'm taking a 1-day writing class with Julia Cameron, who's pretty well known. I mean, she's famous if you want to look her up. Famous for The Artist's Way. She's the one who came up with the idea that if you're a creative person and you're a writer or a struggling writer, get up early in the morning and write. And that's actually when I do feel, strangely enough, very inspired. Tired, but inspired. Tired, but inspired. I like that. It's when my mind feels the most able to access images and metaphors and things that rhyme and things that kind of flow out in a nice way, I think. I don't know. Very hard to judge one's own writing, but you can tell. You can tell when you're in a groove and you hit that groove. And then if somebody likes it, I don't do it for attention, but if it touches somebody and they like it and it means something, I can't speak, something to them, it's very energizing to me. It's wonderful. I posted a poem of mine on the one I didn't read you guys yet on Facebook this morning, and a friend of mine who lives in France actually shared it on her page, and everybody's like, who's this poet? Who's this poet? And I'm like, oh my God, they're actually calling me a poet, It's really neat. This is the most rambling, boring video I think I've ever made, but at least I'm sitting down in front of the camera. I'm not just walking around with it in front of my face, which must have been annoying. So guys, I'm going to go. And I love you. Thank you for listening to me. Let's all watch Zachary and laugh tonight at 10 Eastern Time. I'm not sure what time it is in Germany, Sabina, or where my other friends are at. Like I said, I know I have 50 subscribers now, but it seems like only 2 or 3 or 4 people watch me. Or, well, I should say they comment. I'm a real prolific commenter. I comment a lot on almost everything I watch. I'm just a freaking big mouth. But other people, they might like what you have to say, but they're not into commenting. So anyway, that's it. I love you guys. I'll be on later or tomorrow. Peace out.